My name is Bert, and this is the Still Life Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Still Life Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bert. What is today? Today's Thursday. It's almost Friday, another week in the books. It's been a good day. Went to the park with the kids, got them lunch, they're napping. I'm researching schools so I can start working towards my bachelor's in psychology and work towards becoming a counselor. Oh, man. It's a lot, got a lot going on all at once, preparing to start a new job. In addition to that, preparing to go back to school and trying to co-parent two small children. It's a lot. Life has its ups and downs. This last, 12 to 15 months, I've had a lot of ups and downs. A lot of big ups, a lot of big downs. And here I am. I've, for the most part, made it out the other side. Still working on myself, working on becoming a better man, a better parent, a better partner, just all around a better version of myself, learning where my faults lie and where my traumas lie and how I can work to navigate those and not project them onto other people or onto my children, It's just a constant work in progress kind of a deal. Continuing to learn, continuing to grow, and continuing to improve. And it's not easy. There are days when I feel great, there's days when I feel okay, and there's days where I feel like crap. But the days where I feel good or I feel okay, those days seem to be happening more and more frequently. So, that's a big step is, I'm seeing the work is starting to pay dividends. It's starting to pay off. Things aren't falling into place, as some would say, because that would imply that I didn't do a lot of work. And that's just flat out wrong. I worked my butt off the last 12 plus months to have these opportunities start happening. I laid the foundation, I put in the work, and now these things are starting to come to fruition. So, I planted the seeds, I tended the garden, I watered the plants, I pulled the weeds, and now the trees are starting to bear fruit. So, I don't want to discount or discredit the work that I put in and just say, oh, things are falling into place. I've been really lucky. No. I worked extremely hard for these things to happen, not knowing if or when they would happen, but I continued to put in the work day in and day out. So when good things happen to you, it's because you put in the work. Yeah, we all get lucky sometimes, but 99% of the time it's because we put in the work. We got our hands dirty, we dug in, and we got stuff done. Bottom line. The vast majority of people on this planet don't luck their way into things. They work their way into things. And, this circumstance or set of circumstances is absolutely no different. I've worked on myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. I've put in the work looking for jobs, applying for jobs. I think I applied for over 200 jobs in total just to get a handful of interviews. But I got an offer. And that's the most important part because I'm starting a new job. Now, is this something I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Could be. Probably won't be because I'd really like to get into counseling, sports therapy. I'd like to work with athletes. I'd like to work with veterans. And so that's where my focus is going to be on that long term. But for right now, I've got a new job. And I'm going to work at that as hard as I possibly can as long as I have to do it. To get my debt paid off, to get myself in a better position financially, to be able to afford to buy a house on my own. And to be able to provide experiences to my children so that they can learn and grow as well. With that, that's not to say that I can't do that now. But, it's different when you can travel and when you can do certain things, to enhance experiences and learning. So, it's something that is very important to me. I'm not a thing or toy person. You don't need a billion toys. Toys come and go. Most of the time, you don't remember that stuff. But it's the experiences that you learn from, the memories that you create as a family that tend to last the longest and have the biggest impact. Why learn in a classroom, and only in a classroom, when we can go explore the world around us and put our hands on things, get dirty, and learn? I've always been a hands-on learner, and I love to share that with my kids as often as possible. It's so important to me that they have those experiences, that they can put their hands on history and on science, on math. That these are tangible things. Because for me, it not only enhanced the learning experience, but it made me passionate about learning. And I want to carry that tradition on with my children. Whether it's just doing something here in town or going to somewhere like the Grand Canyon or Crater of Diamonds Park to explore geology, play in the dirt, look at rocks, go fishing, talk about biology, the fish cycle, the waterways, the rain cycle. We should take more opportunities to learn from the world around us. Not just as kids, but even now as adults. Take the opportunity to get outside, go explore, and learn. Be present in nature. Take it all in. So many valuable lessons in nature that we can learn. But we sit inside in front of a computer, in front of a telephone, in front of a television, and we stare blankly at these screens and absorb all this information that most of the time we really don't need or doesn't apply to our lives in any fashion. It's like the old adage goes, garbage in, garbage out. Get out in nature. Get dirty. Play in the mud. Get in the water. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy learning. And enjoy being present in your life. Because at the end of the day, nobody makes it out alive. So you might as well take that time to enjoy the world around you. And with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the Still Life Podcast. As always, for questions, comments, topic ideas, suggestions, or if you'd like to become a sponsor of the Still Life Podcast, you can reach us, thestilllifepodcast@gmail.com. That's thestilllifepodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check us out on social media. Give us a follow. Facebook and Instagram at The Still Life Podcast. Twitter at Still Life Pod. And of course our YouTube channel, The Still Life Podcast. Thanks again for joining me today on The Still Life Podcast. We'll talk again soon.